COVID-19 has reported a case of anaphylaxis. Is this a cause for concern, or was it bound to happen given the rushed nature of the vaccine? Anaphylaxis is always a risk with any intravenous injection, particularly any given rarely, as it isn't possible to remove an injected allergen after symptoms appear. Allergies also change over time. So, the small but real chance that you've become allergic to one of the ingredients since the last time you had the injection or are allergic to an injection you've never had before is precisely why injections are supervised unless and until they are frequent enough to be normal to the person's body, such as insulin injections. It is, in fact, precisely why you are required to wait around for at least 15 minutes after receiving a vaccine injection, so that if you do have an anaphylactic response, you're doing so in front of the people who are best trained to ensure you survive it. As for the rushed nature of the vaccine, as usual, this phrase betrays a complete misunderstanding of the nature of the vaccine. mRNA vaccines were under development for over a decade before COVID hit. It's just that COVID happened to be the first new disease to come along after the process was understood. So, far from being rushed, it was, in fact, developed precisely in accordance with mRNA vaccine protocols. It's simply that those protocols were new to the public. Not that they were rushed. Half the value of mRNA vaccines is the fact that they can be produced significantly faster than traditional vaccine processes. The reason COVID vaccines were produced so fast, in other words, is not because the process was rushed, but that the process that had recently been finalized is very fast. The only way in which development was sped up was by increasing the number of people who volunteered to be available for the human trials portion. There was not a reduced number of tests conducted. In other words, they were just conducted in a large group of people simultaneously, rather than multiple small groups of people sequentially. Same tests, same number of test subjects, just faster results, which occurred because there was more money available to conduct many trials simultaneously, and there were more volunteers available to test on. And the other half of the value of mRNA vaccines, the fact that they are far less likely to cause an anaphylactic response as they contain. The COVID vaccine was not rushed. The production process had recently been finalized. Many volunteers were available for testing. Simultaneously, anaphylaxis is always a risk with any vaccine. That's why you wait after the injection. If a reaction occurs, you're in the safest possible place for it to occur. mRNA vaccines are far less likely to cause an allergic reaction